And hello there. We'd like to welcome you into the Philly and Fred show for Saturday, February 7th, 2026. On today's episodes, we're going to see if both of us agree with who got the awards last night. We're going to talk about the Super Bowl and which QB it means more for. We're going to pick our Super Bowl MVP, give you what we think the AFC South rankings look like next year, best Super Bowl catch of all time, favorite Super Bowls we've watched, Mount Rushmore of QBs, the tight end rankings, and we're going to finish with true or false. So, Philly, do you agree with all the awards that were handed out on Thursday?
Yes, I do. I feel like all of the awards that were given were well deserved by all of the candidates. I don't think there was any disagreements that I had on the board. So shout out to all of those guys on their respective awards. So yeah, I agree with everything.
Now, my favorite part of awards or like really anything to do with NFL is when one guy wins it, the guy that doesn't win it, his fan base just they can't believe it. It's got to be rigged. They got to be hating. It's like, dude, the dude threw for 4,700 yards and like 47 touchdowns. Well, he had a better team. Well, I mean, that's his fault. I don't really understand that. Like he played well. Drake May played well. They both
Yeah.
played well. It was a close MVP voting. Now, the one vote that separated them going to Justin Herbert, I do have a problem with that. That's ridiculous. That
Yeah.
I don't under. And the guy said, "Well, if he look, he had to deal with his offensive line was terrible. It's like, and nobody even thought to pick him. Like you're just trying to be a jack. You're trying to be an asshole. You're trying to be different, and you look stupid. But I mean, yeah, I think everybody got the awards they should have. Offensive Player of the Year, JSN, well deserved. Players are not happy with Drewski. I think non-players thought it was pretty funny. Players did not find it very funny at all. They thought it was pretty lame. And a lot of times there was a lot of expletives and then lame. So, and I didn't really think about it when he did it. And then after it happened, I was like, I could see where people would think he's trying to take it away from JSN. But, I mean, JSN well deserved. Puka good season, close. Obviously, defensive player of the year. I mean, we kind of knew that when he broke the record. Way
Yeah.
before he broke the record. About halfway through the season, we knew that.
Hmm.
And then McMillan, offensive player of the year, well deserved. I mean, there was a lot of good rookies this year, especially on the offensive side, but I think he was the best. And then Swessinger, I think he should have won it defensive rookie of the year, but I think the safety from the Seahawks, if he would have won it, I wouldn't have said nothing about him because that guy's a stud. He's big, he can run, he can tackle. I mean, he had
Lord.
pass breakups against Puka, and then he can also play in the run game. Like I think that's gonna be the best rookie to come from this class as a total player, as just the best player in general. But Schlesinger, I mean, guy made a lot of tackles. I can't really hate on that being rookie of the year. But yeah, on to the Super Bowl. Patriots, last game of the year, the Super Bowl. Patriots versus Seahawks. Seahawks -4. Who you picking, Philly?
Yeah, as we get closer to this game, I'm getting a little less confident in my pick. When this line dropped that Sunday when the Seahawks beat the Rams, the line started off at 3.5, and I was saying I was going to hammer the Seahawks. But now, as the weeks go by, I've seen everybody and their mom on the Seahawks, so it's kind of scaring me a little bit. I'm thinking a little sharp money is going to come back and take the Patriots. But I'm gonna stand where I started. I'm gonna take the Seahawks -4.5. I just think Patriots, they've had a great season, but I think they benefited from a very easy schedule this year. I believe it was the seventh easiest schedule since 1978. I can't discredit what they've done. They have Coach of the Year, Drake May, runner up for MVP. That defense has been playing astounding. But when you look at the schedule this year, they beat up on a lot of bad teams, but I can't discredit them, like I said. And in the playoffs, I just haven't been impressed in their playoff wins. They have played three top 10 defenses: Texans, Broncos, and Chargers. But their offense really struggled, and they're going up against another top 10 defense in Seattle. I think this Seattle team is the most complete this year. And yeah, you played a Justin Herbert who had a broken wrist and hasn't proven to do anything in the playoffs. CJ Stroud turned the ball over 10 times in 2 games. I believe if there was a better quarterback playing for the Texans, that they arguably could have beat the Patriots that game. And then you played a backup quarterback in the AFC Championship with Jarrett Stidham. Like I said, I can't discredit what the Patriots doing. They're still winning, but I ultimately think this will be the best offense that they faced in quite some time. Sam Darnold, if he plays a clean game, the Seahawks will win. They're almost unbeatable when he doesn't turn the ball over. 7-1 on the year, and so yeah, but the Patriots defense has been that's who's kept them afloat this entire playoff run, and I think it's gonna come down to the Sam Darnold. If he plays a clean game, like I said, I think they come out with a victory. If he has Even if he has one, I think they'll be fine. But if when he gets the 2+ range, that's where Patriots can take advantage. So I think that's what it's going to come down to. But I think Seahawks, if they play their game, they cover this 4.5. They win by, I say, anywhere from 7 to 10. And I don't see Patriots winning a low scoring game. I think if Patriots win, they're gonna have to put up points. But I can see Seattle winning a high scoring game or low scoring game. In the last 7 games, excluding the Rams game, they allowed 44 total points, which is around 6 a game, and 2 total touchdowns. So that Seattle defense has been really good. The Patriots has as well, allowing only 8 points in their 3 playoff games. So I think the defensive side of the ball, it's going to be a big key for both teams. But I think Seattle gets it done ultimately. Who you got, Fred?
I'm not gonna lie. I had the same thought of when both championship games ended. When that last game ended, I said, "Oh my God, the Seahawks are gonna absolutely destroy the Patriots." And even all of last week, I kind of still thought that. And then, like you said, everybody I see this week's been picking the Texans, or not the Seahawks. I want to know what I'm talking about. The Seahawks. And the more and more, and when I saw that, I really went back and looked at the Patriots game. And I was like, well, the Patriots are going to have to, like, they're not going to be able to blow out the Seahawks. Like, they're just, you look at the Seahawks compared to the Patriots, the Seahawks have basically the better talent at every position. They're just much more talented team. And then I went and looked, and some things you can do to make a game close against a team that's got more talent than you is turn people over, run the ball a lot of times, and run the ball for a lot and win time of possession. And in their playoff games, they've rushed it for 38 times for 141 yards, won the turnover battle 2-0. Yeah, had 33 minutes of possession. Jesus, I can't speak. In the next game against the Texans, 32 for 105, one turnover battle 5-3. Controlled the ball for 32 minutes. And then against the Chargers, 29 for 146, won the turnover battle 2-1, and had 32 minutes of possession. And like you said, when they've lost, they have lost because Sam Darnold's turned the ball over a lot. The last 2 games that they've lost, they lost the turnover battle 4-1, and they lost it 2-0. So like that's what that when they play bad, that's what it is. But last 9 games, Darnold, he's really chilled out on that. He's only turned the ball over 4 times. He's got 12 touchdowns. So ever since that Rams game where he turned it over 4 times, they lost by 2. He's really chilled out on the turnovers. And we talked about that earlier in the year. Like we said, this team looks really good, but their kryptonite might be that their quarterback turns the ball over. And it feels like ever since we've said that, he's chilled out on the turnovers, and he's really lessened them. He's played smart, but like we saw last week, when he needed to turn it up, he could turn it up. He could throw for 350 and 3 touchdowns. But another thing I was thinking about also in this game, I think Milton Williams has a legit chance to win Super Bowl MVP because when Darnold has struggled and he does turn the ball over, normally when he throws his interceptions, it's pressure coming from the middle. And Milton Williams is going to be right there in the middle, rushing the passer, trying to get to him. And if he can get to him a couple times, force him to throw a couple errant balls, maybe a strip sack, I think a defensive tackle can win Super Bowl MVP. And another thing that the Patriots got to do, you got to stop Seattle from running the ball. Because what does Seattle love to do? They love to run the ball and they love to run play action off that. I mean, in the 3 playoff games, the Patriots have allowed 71 yards per game on 3.1 yards per carry. So, like, I mean, hilariously, everything they do really makes it seem like they can play a close game with Seattle, have it close to the end, and that's all you want. The downside of the Patriots, the other side. I mean, they've just not played well on offense. They've turned it over. They've given up sacks. I mean, in this playoffs, they're 30% on third downs. I mean, honestly, that's kind of unbelievable stat to believe that they're in the Super Bowl only converting 30% of their third downs. So, after saying all that, I think that the Patriots cover, but the Seahawks win by 3. I think the Patriots keep it close, and I think Drake May plays okay. They run it. They keep the time of possession on their side. They play good defense, but I think in the end, Sam Darnold leads game-winning drive and kicks a field goal with no time on the clock to win the Super Bowl. So, Patriots to cover, Seahawks to win. Alrighty, Philly, who is your Super Bowl MVP?
I'm going Sam Darnold here. Obviously, we know the the quarterback of the winning team is most likely to win the Super Bowl. 11 of the last 15 Super Bowl MVPs have gone to the quarterback position, but there has been 4 that hasn't been a quarterback. But I do think there's more routes for a Seahawks player outside of the quarterback position to win. I think if JSN has a big 100 plus yard game and like 2 touchdowns, he could win it. Or one of those guys get two interceptions or 2 fumbles. But I think Sam Donald ultimately is gonna get it because I think Seahawks are gonna win, and then he's gonna play a good turnoverless game. So give me Sam Donald.
My Super Bowl MVP, I think it's going to be Kenneth Walker. I know I talked about the Patriots stopping the run, but Kenneth Walker's been awesome this postseason. And with the injury of Charbonnet, he's been the main guy. He's been the bell cow. And we've seen that he's just been running the crap out of it. He's had big games all postseason. I think he has another big game this game in the Super Bowl. I think he scores 2 touchdowns on the ground, catches 1, has over 100 yards all purpose, and wins Super Bowl MVP. So you're going with the quarterback of the Seahawks. I'll go with the running back of the Seahawks. Next, we're going to give our AFC South rankings for next year, what we think they're going to be. All right, I'm going to start out at 4. I think the 4th team in the AFC South next year is going to be the Colts. I mean, Danny Dimes is hurt. I mean, do they play Richardson? Do they play Riley Leonard? I don't really know what they do next year. The roster, I mean, they just can't find a quarterback. The roster's not been bad. But if you can't find a quarterback, I just don't know how you really become that good of a team. Third, give me the Titans. I think with the addition of Robert Saleh, the defense is going to play well. You give Cam Ward, Brian Daboll. We've seen what Brian Daboll has done with a young quarterback. I think they're going to play well. I think they're going to sneak up on some people next year. I think they might make the playoffs. 2, Texans. Don't know what they are quarterback. I don't know about Stroud. I mean, that was a rough season, a rough postseason, but that defense is just too good to go without them. And then give me the Jaguars. We've seen what they look like after they traded for Jacoby Myers. Trevor Lawrence, I think, finally got a rhythm going with Liam Cohen. I think they signed people back. I think they go for it all. And I think they're number 1 in the AFC South next year. What's your rankings look like, Philly?
Well, we have the same exact rankings. 4 Colts. Like you said, Danny Dimes. Don't know how he's going to look after the injury that he had. He was playing a phenomenal season. They still have a lot of questions at most positions. So I think Colts fill in at 4. 3 Titans as well. I think they only go up from here. Got Robert Saleh. got Brian Dayball, and I think they're a few years out from being a really good team. So I like Titans at 3. 2 Texans. We know what their defense is going to offer. I think CJ Stroud is going to have a bounce back year, get some receivers back, Nico Collins, Dalton Schultz, Tank Dell, get some of those guys back healthy, and I think Stroud has a nice bounce back year. And then one, yeah, going Jags as well. Liam Cohen already won the division in his first season. Trevor Lawrence looked the best that he's looked in his whole entire career. I think they keep the momentum going. That defense played well as well. And yeah, we got the same exact order.
Alrighty, that's it for what we think the AFC South is going to look like next year. Next one, we're going to give our Mount Rushmore of QBs, and we're going to go from QBs to running backs to receivers to tight ends to edge rushers to linebackers to safeties to corners. We're going to do them all. But you got to start with the quarterbacks. And the first head on my Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks is Tom Brady. I mean, is there anything else more to say? More Super Bowls than any franchise. First in passing yards, touchdowns, completions, regular season wins. I mean, not much more to say. Second head, Peyton Manning. Almost 72,000 yards, third in TDs with 539. He won 2 Super Bowls. Has the greatest season of all time with only 16 games. He threw for almost 5,500 yards and 55 touchdowns in 16 games. Next, give me Joe Montana. 4-0 in Super Bowls, 285 yards per game in Super Bowls, 11 touchdowns, no interceptions, 128 passer rating in Super Bowls. I mean, Cool Joe. That's what they call him. Last head, Dan Marino. I mean, he threw for 5,000 yards back in the early 80s and threw for 48 touchdowns in that same season. He was doing things that dudes never could dream of during that time. He had, I mean, the same arm talent or more arm talent than these guys today that have had 30 to 40 years of extra science and just extra training. And he looks better than a lot of the guys did today. So that's the 4 heads on my Mount Rushmore. What are yours, Philly?
Yeah, very similar. I'll start off with the GOAT, Tom Brady. Like you said, 7 Super Bowl wins, 5 Super Bowl MVPs. The guy should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. We'll see about that. But yeah, greatest of all time, as most of us would agree with. Second, Peyton Manning as well, 5-time MVP, 2-time Super Bowl. This guy was he was a crazy guy. And Joe Montana, third on my list, undefeated in Super Bowls, went 4-0, had the highest passer rating of all time of any quarterback in history, 3-time Super Bowl MVP. I wish I got to see him play live. And then fourth, I'm going Aaron Rodgers, 4-time MVP, a Super Bowl MVP, and was the king of the Hail Mary pass. He won a lot of games on his Hail Marys, one of the most accurate passes I've ever seen. And this is coming from a Bears fan. So, yeah, Aaron Rodgers is going to fill that fourth head on that quarterback Mount Rushmore for me.
Alrighty, that's it for our Mount Rushmores of QBs. Next episode, we will be presenting our Mount Rushmore of running backs. On to true or false. First one, true or false, no one was better than Antonio Brown in his prime, and I'm going to go true. Because I think people just don't realize how good he was because he had the crazy stuff. He had a 6-year stretch where he had 686 receptions, 9,145 yards, 67 touchdowns. He was averaging 114 catches a year and 1,524 yards for 6 years. I mean, that's unbelievable. And he was a little 5'10, 5'11 guy. He got double teamed all the time. I mean, I seen him go crazy on Chris Harris and Aqib Talib for the Broncos. I mean, there were some great defenses that he went against, and he always torched them. The guy was unguardable. You know, the off the field stuff is what really derailed his career. But on the field, I don't know if I don't think I've ever seen someone be better than Antonio Brown in his 6-year stretch. What do you think, Philly?
Yeah, I'm gonna go false, but I will say I think AB was underrated because I didn't realize what he did with all the off the field issues that he had and on the field. I didn't realize how good that guy was. But I'm gonna say I think it was actually Jerry Rice because this man had an 11-year stretch where he had 1,000 plus yards in every single season. that's pretty hard to do because first of all, we don't get a lot of receivers that stay healthy for that long of a time in a row, and he had a long career, played about 20 seasons, and he was just pretty. He was Mr. Consistent. Had double-digit touchdowns in 9 of those 11 years. So I think it was Jerry Rice, but I think AB is definitely up there, and people don't realize how great he was in his primes. I'm gonna go false.
Yeah. I mean, slinging a sausage around little kids at the pool and then being an attempted murderer. People forget what you did on the field. Same thing with OJ. Got rushed for 2,000 yards in a 14-game season, but then you allegedly did what he did, and people kind of forget about your football career. So, future football players, don't be an idiot off the
When he,
field, and people will
yeah,
remember you.
when he ran off the field that on the Bucks, like in the
I
middle of
mean,
the third quarter, bro, that was
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what I would have thought if he was on my team, but luckily by that point he was on Tampa Bay, so I just laughed. But I can't imagine being a Tampa fan and like being like, "Oh man, AB's just starting to get it going with Tom," and then he puts up the peace sign, just walks off the field, and you're like, "Well, that was short, but they ended
yeah.
up being fine." So yeah, that was
Yeah.
wild times. Next one, true or false? Top QBs need to take less money if they want to win, and I think it's true. Look at Darnold, 3 years, $100 million. That's $30 million per year. May on his rookie contract, and then they're both in the Super Bowl. And look at Tom Brady. Tom Brady always took pay cuts so they could re-sign guys and have a better team. And I'm not saying don't take less money. Or I'm not saying take less money because I mean, if they're offering me $50 million, I'm gonna take it. But if you really want to win and that's what you want your legacy to be, all-time greats have taken pay cuts to win Super Bowls and go to Super Bowls. So I think it's true. I think if some of these dudes making 50, 60 million, if you cut down on that just by a little bit, you retain a couple guys, sign a couple guys, you might make the Super Bowl. What are your thoughts, Philly?
Yeah, I think it's true. And some of these guys don't need to be so stingy. I mean, you're already making a lot of money. Why not spread the wealth with trying to bring some more pieces to help your team win rather than you getting all the money and you just continuously lose in the playoffs or not even get there. So I love taking a pay cut for to help your team win. I love that. So I'm gonna go true as well.
Yeah, and people forget that Tom Brady did that for a while. Now in Tampa, ain't gonna lie, he kind of got paid in Tampa, but forever he was never the top paid quarterback. And everybody knew he was the GOAT after he won his first 4 Super Bowls. And then he still was taking pay cuts, and people kept wondering, like, it's almost like people forgot that he did that. And he didn't care. And he told people after, like, he had an interview not that long ago where he told people, he said, you'll make it up in the back end. If you just play hard, maybe take a couple less to stay with the right situation. In the back end, you'll make the money when you're a great player and they have to pay you.
Yeah.
So that's something. All righty, next. We're gonna list off our favorite Super Bowls. I'll start my favorite Super Bowls. Number 5 on the list, Eagles 41 over the Patriots 33. I mean, that was a crazy game. I mean, to have 74 points scored in a Super Bowl is insane. You had the Nick Foles timeline. You had the Tom Brady miss. He looked like a human being, finally. And he missed that. And then the strip sack, Brandon Graham on Tom Brady. Great way to end it. It was always nice seeing the Patriots lose. The next one, they won this one, but it was still great to watch. Patriots 28, Seahawks 24, and that Super Bowl, I mean, Malcolm Butler made one of the greatest plays in Super Bowl, NFL, football history. Read the route. Should they have gave it to Marshawn? Probably, but they didn't, and they didn't go well. Third, Falcons 28, Patriots 34. I mean, what else do I got to say? 28-3. They beat them 25-0 in fourth quarter and overtime. Tom Brady once again looked human, possibly. Patriots dynasty over? No, they come back and have one of the greatest wins ever. Number 2, Giants 17, Patriots 14. The David Tyree catch. I mean, that is just a great catch. That was one of my first Super Bowls I actually watched from start to finish. Got to stay up late past bedtime, watch that one. And that front four the Giants had, people talk about the David Tyree catch. That front four the Giants had was the reason they won that game. They could get pressure on Tom Brady with 4 people, and they had no answer for that. Number 1, obviously, Steelers 27, Cardinals 23. It was the first Super Bowl I watched the Steelers win and really get to watch the whole thing. Big Ben to Santonio Holmes, one of the greatest plays of all time. Another one of the greatest plays of all time in that Super Bowl. James Harrison, pick six right before halftime. My favorite Super Bowl had to be this one because it was the Steelers winning it. What are your favorite Super Bowls, Philly?
Yeah, I like that list. So I'll start with really the Chiefs dynasty, the three championships that they won. I thought they was all impressive. Two against the Niners, one against the Eagles. And people forget to realize the Chiefs were down 10 or more points in all three of those games. So the fact that they came back and won all three of those was pretty impressive. Another one of recent memory, that Patriots Falcons game, like you mentioned, Falcons up 28-3, blew that game with some bad play calling and just Belichick and Tom Brady doing what they do. Came back. I actually cut this one off and came back to see that the Patriots won that game. So that was a crazy comeback. Like you mentioned, Seahawks Patriots as well. Seahawks looking to go back to back, and Malcolm Butler said, "Nope, let me intercept that at a one." Pete Carroll didn't run it with Marshawn Lynch, and that's one of the most controversial calls we'll talk about for years. The Steelers in Arizona game, I believe this was 09, 010. This was one of the first, I believe the first Super Bowl that I vividly remember watching. Crazy game. James Harrison with the longest pick six in NFL history. And Santonio Holmes' catch at the end of that game was amazing as well. And then the Harbaugh Bowl, Ravens and 49ers back in 2013, two brothers going head to head in the Super Bowl. You can't draw that up any better. Colin Kaepernick, Joe Flacco had historic games, and then some of those receivers, Michael Crabtree, yeah, a lot of good players on that field. So, and probably a lot of emotions running through both of those brothers' heads facing each other in the Super Bowl. But those are some of the ones of recent memories that were some of my favorite to watch.
Alrighty, yeah. I mean, that's great list of Super Bowls. Been a lot of great Super Bowls to watch. It's always great when it's a close one. There's nothing worse than a blowout or a not really close game in the Super
Yeah.
Bowl. Hopefully this year we get one. Hopefully we get a close one. Hopefully we get an all-timer, but we'll see. Next, the best catch. What do we think is the best catch of all time in the Super Bowl? Alrighty. What is the best catch of all time in the Super Bowl? The Julio Jones catch, the Julian Edelman catch, the Santonio Holmes catch, or the David Tyree helmet catch? And give me Santonio Holmes because I'm a Steelers fan. And plus, this is the only catch out of the four that directly resulted in the win. Like, all the other ones were caught in the field of play, and then they had to score after that. I mean, Julio didn't even win the game. Julio's going to have the greatest catch of all time that no one ever talks about. But I'm a Steelers fan. I'm biased, and it resulted in a touchdown. And then we can add the Big Ben, great, perfect throw right over the hand. Tony toe tap, great toe tap by Santonio Holmes. And it brought Pittsburgh its last Super Bowl. So, yeah, I'm going to go Santonio Holmes. What's yours, Philip?
I'm gonna go David Tyree. As we know, this was a critical catch. I don't think I've seen anybody catch a pass using their helmet. So this was a great, and just the time of possession. Giants down four with about a minute left, driving down the field. You had to have it. There's a defender right in your face, holding your arm down, and you just pin the ball against your helmet. This is one of the most iconic catches there is. I think that's the best catch I've seen in the Super Bowl. I'll go David Tyree.
All righty. Yeah. All those great catches. That's what we think were the greatest catches. And is there anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
No, I think it'll be it.
I got one thing to say before we get out of here. I cannot stand when people say that one team has all the pressure and the other team doesn't have any pressure. Like, yeah, I bet the Patriots are really thinking, whoof, I know we're in the Super Bowl, but there's no pressure on us. I know there's 130 million people watching, but woof, the Seahawks, they really got the pressure. We're not worried at all. This ain't the biggest game of our life. that we've been preparing for our whole life. Just because we're the underdogs, oof,
Yeah.
we don't care at all. I mean, I'm not even anxious. I ain't even got no butterflies or nothing. I can't stand that. They do it every time there's a big, like a team's a big favorite. They always go, oh, this team's got all the pressure. The other team's got no, they're playing with house money. They're not playing with house money. They're in the Super Bowl. They're going to be nervous. They're going to have pressure on them. Like, will they be the better team in that one? We don't know. But I know for sure they're going to be anxious. They're going to be nervous, and they're going to have pressure on them. But yeah, I saw multiple people saying that this week, and it angered me, and so I had to get that out. But yeah, that was don't like it.
Let it out.
But yeah, had to. All righty, that's it for the show. We'll see y'all on Tuesday after the Super Bowl.